Good evening, everybody. It's 9:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on 11/9/2019. Market at the moment is 237 billion bucks and 17 billion for the daily volume. 88.03 for Bitcoin. People go, what? It dropped? Yeah, it did. But I'll show you something which is pretty cool. 184 for Ethereum and 27 cents for XRP. BTC is down basically just a touch. ETH is down just a touch. XRP is up 0.44% at the moment. So you have that. Now when you look at the 24 hours, losing a little bit, gaining a little bit. Look at Apollo, and Apollo over the last 24 hours, 6.57% up, 7.3% up at the moment, 11.72 for the 7 days, and 66% for the 30 days. So you gotta like that. Now, getting to what I was going to mention here about pricing for Bitcoin at 88.03, and you look on the news cycle, and all you see is that everybody's just going on all the news sites. Oh my God, Bitcoin's just dropping, it's just dropping. You know, that's what happens whenever Bitcoin goes down. Yeah, that's what happens. But you got to look at the history of Bitcoin. There's your history, way back in 2013. And actually, the historical chart doesn't go all the way back. In 2012 and 11, action on it, but tiny bits, you know, very little. But you see as it goes along here, and you've got 773 at the bottom down here. 18.74 million for the volume, and then just cooking and surging, and you know, just really, you can tell it's gaining some traction, and then really started to boost right in here. And when it did, now you can see here this going up into the billions, and this was the bull run of 2017, but this was a hype bull run, which means, you know, the millennials and everybody just diving into it because everybody said, oh my God, the fear of missing out. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. That'll happen again too down the road. But the thing is that if you take that out of the equation and you have a jump up like this, and then say it went like this without that surge up there, and then you see where Bitcoin is right now, and then I don't think this drop would have been as big if it didn't surge this high. I think this drop would have been maybe minor and more like this in this action here. And then you can see here where we are and where Bitcoin is at the moment. So Bitcoin basically has, in the long run, of course, gained a ton of profit. Where is it going down the road? It's good. And what do you do in times like this? You basically buy the dip. That's the best way to put that. And just take care of business by buying the dip. Now, if you want to see where your money's go, or where the money is going for XRP, Bitcoin, and other coins, I basically mentioned this a couple of videos ago for the fiatleak.com, and it is pretty cool that you can just click a currency, click the country, and it starts to take care of business with showing you what's going on. And it's just, if you want to have a few beers and if you're bored, use it. Speaking of, I don't know, how can I put this one? Okay, here's your Bitcoin Lightning piece. Okay, and the Lightning is working. It's not the best right now, but it's working. Okay, but it can be used for private messaging. I love that. Oh, wow. Apollo's had that built into their wallet for the last 2 years, private messaging. So it's just archaic when you think about it. These people that are just still dealing with that. I just saw another thing too, that you have a piece where Coinbase has changed their confirmations for some of the coins and reducing the confirmation number, which is helpful. But the time it takes for Bitcoin to transfer and clear, Apollo is 1 to 2 seconds. Bitcoin is, God, a long time. So are the other coins. This is one of the press releases that's gone out. There's a ton of them on the MOU that Apollo signed with Lesotho. So all over it's distributing and going out there. Now I'll show you a piece that what was described about what's going on with the MOU, with a non-disclosure agreement, and that's why you don't see all the specifics out there. Now on the Apollo Medium page, you have the, I'll show you this in a minute, but the list of all the different articles that they do daily, okay? Daily. So besides Twitter, you should use the Apollo Medium page for the information. And also too, when you're on Telegram, if you're in the Apollo Telegram group, you go to the Apollo website. I'll show you that in a second. Down in the right-hand corner is your link for the Telegram group, or search Apollo currency. When you go into the group and you are active, right, and you get in, basically, and you search Apollo, you in the Telegram, you get the Apollo announcement channel, and they send you a ton of stuff all the time, which is good. So you have, basically you have Twitter, you have the media page, you have the announcement page, or I should say the announcement on Telegram, and the Telegram group. So when you look at this MOU description, as it goes down here, the main objectives for the Apollo Foundation announcing it with the nation of Lesotho to develop and implement the blockchain technology in various government departments and initiatives. The Ministry of Communications, Science and Technology acted on behalf of the Lesotho government in signing the Memorandum of Understanding with the Foundation. The main objectives of the Foundation or the blockchain initiative are to create new wealth in the private sector by harnessing Apollo FinTech solutions, design and implement new government systems, reduce financial crime, a lot of it in the exchange rate stuff, maximize the commercialization of the nation's mineral wealth, eradicate, and that's big right there. That one right there is huge. Lesotho is very rich in minerals. Eradicate challenges like unemployment, poverty, and educational constraints. You can see why the government and the science and technology minister signed on. This is just a stepping stone, like I said. Lesotho is first. Apollo's announcing another country soon. They are working in partnership with the ADF group in South Africa. So this partnership with the ADF is already showing fruit, and it's just going to be huge when it keeps going with more and more countries in Africa. On Twitter, everybody that I've talked to that got involved in it, and you should too if you have Twitter, is to tweet out about this MOU to anybody in Africa that is popular, news channels, entertainers. I did it, other people did it, and I've got new African followers because of it. And people are excited about it. So the more that people do this, and if you do it daily, make it fun. Do one country. And I'm not saying just do what Apollo's dealing with. No. Deal and send it to every country out there. They're going to be dealing with about, 15 countries in the next 3-6 months. But there's 54 nations in Africa. Hit them all up. Best way to put it, spread the word. Why? Once people see that it's going on in Lesotho and how it's going so good, they're going to clamor for Apollo to the government. They're going to ask their government to get Apollo, because things are going to change for the better for Lesotho big time and regarding prosperity. And what's going to happen here is going to be historic and going to be a rush for the people of Africa and for all Apollonauts. When you go to the Foundation Medium page, like I said, every day, articles, and you can keep up with everything that's going on. This is the busiest and most talented group in crypto. The devs working in the Ukraine for the first bridge,
living organisms,
and that's a robot in back of me that just made a little noise. Seriously, a robot. So anyway, you go through this, and you can see daily what's going on. Then, also too, on the basically GitHub for Apollo Foundation, you have the devs that are working all the time, and seriously, on the weekend, they're still working. And you look here yesterday, and going through. Actually, you know what? They may be taking today off. No, that was just, yeah, yep, that was Friday. Okay, so we'll see what they do over the weekend. But this right here, I would assume they're going to have an update early this week, middle of the week. You can see they're progressing on the DEX 2.0. And speaking of that, and other things that they're working on, the DEX is built into your wallet, and it is going to be a full-featured DEX in short time. And it's a beta form right now, but active with ETH and PAX stablecoin trading. You can do it up. And this right here is a great tweet by Apollo Core. Are you familiar with the ADF? To one of the African entertainers in South Africa. They have partnered with the Apollo Foundation to open Apollo Africa about 5 months ago. Signed the MOU this past week. Great news. No, it should have been news. Great news for the people of Lesotho. And the piece here, the picture with the minister, and the ADF agreement. That agreement with the ADF is historic. I've said that in a lot of my videos. Okay, here's a statement that clarifies what's going on with the MOU. Steve and Lee have both addressed the satisfactory earlier. Addressing that, Steve clearly said there should be certainly announcements from both sides, and there will be as we progress. We were told that we are free to announce any time, so we did. Anyone can message the Minister of Technology and ask him. He will verify. Furthermore, Lee stressed that the MOU is strictly under NDA, that further details or announcements from both parties will come as time goes by. You're going to see the action in Lesotho when they open the physical locations and they get all this going with the exchanges for the centralized exchanges for Africa. And this piece here, I got to just mention this. Steve put this out, and a lot of people just went, now that's what we want to hear, and they bought up and went out and bought more. Why? Because it's what Apollo is doing. It's the future and what they're focusing on. It's making the difference. Okay, so it will have a tremendous demand as it will be used for many functions that will be talked about later. The Apollo initiative. The value of cryptocurrency at this point in time is mostly driven by speculation, which raises the value of the cryptocurrency more than anything is real-world use cases and the potential of those. So what you have is when we host a national currency, we will have both demand and an unprecedented use case. XRP, for instance, has a value that is largely fueled by accomplishments of Ripple. ETH has a value that is driven by projects that are built off of it. I don't believe there's anything that can parallel being used as a national currency in terms of blockchain. It is the ultimate use case. This is why we have put our largest focus into its success. Think about that. This is why we have put our largest focus into its success. Once national currency is signed in one and more of the countries, look out. Apollo's innovation is the utmost, with the historic updater that prevents forks. No 51% attacks. I saw a thing on the Coinbase thing, update regarding the confirmations. They upped Litecoin way up in the confirmations, way up. You know what their explanation was? Just in case there's a 51% attack on Litecoin. No 51% attack with Apollo. And having the sharding, which it was historic. ETH tried to do it. Apollo did it. Live database blockchain. Apollo did it. And so much more. With its currency use eventually in Africa. With the all-in-one. This is why the ADF signed up with Apollo. 2 seconds speed beating everybody. 2 seconds, 1 to 2 seconds, going sub-second soon with Fast Apollo on the roadmap. You also have the best privacy, kicking butt. But remember, there's a public option with this. It's not a privacy situation that you can't go public. It is a public option. Or if you take your public pieces and just go with a little click of a button, now it's private. That's in the wallet. That's available to you, all in the wallet. Everything built in here, domination by Apollo. You can zoom in, I should, just to help you out in the video. And coming over, But you have those coins and APL kicking butt with the private transactions. I'm not reading every one. You guys should. Okay, I'll go slowly for you. And because I got to get a coffee, I'm starting to dry out here. And go down, go down, go down. So that is why Apollo is going to be so popular and kick butt, because they have basically everything built into one piece, the all-in-one. Ding dong. And Apollo Africa, when they started that, and now they have the partnership with the ADF group, huge. It's time, no doubt about that. When people start buying in Africa and loading up their debit cards that Apollo is putting out for Lesotho and other countries, the volume is going to grow massively from Africa alone. It's already good around the world, but it's going to get a lot better. This is the actual agreement from the ADF group, signed 4/6/2019, and saying that it was the obvious choice for Apollo to choose them, and did it because of Apollo's independent blockchain and endless features. We are endorsing its use to the 54 countries in Africa. It is going to be the next level next year for what they're doing next year for the DAG consensus protocol, the Apollo Cloud, or TPS 1 million plus. Huge next year. And then look what where it's available: Bitmart, IDEX Pro, System Coin, Antilli, Digifinex, soon LA Token. A lot is happening with Apollo, and it's gonna be a bomb. Grab your beers, grab your champagne bottles, because the future of Apollo looks so good. It's amazing. Totally amazing. And this is why I'm excited. I've been excited for a couple of years now because I knew where Apollo was going. And now that they've opened up the Africa branch and they're doing what they're doing in Africa, yeah, huge. No doubt about that. The world will know Apollo. The world is getting to know Apollo. Africa is really getting to know Apollo. Do those tweets, like I said, to any African entertainer, news site, TV stations, everybody. Let them know what's going on with Lesotho. Share the MOU and just rock it. Because you know why? King Apollo, having the best all-in-one, everything built into it, the government's using it. It's just a rush where it's going to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good time for a coffee there. Talking about what's going on with their MOU and looking what they're doing in Lesotho. When you look at the debit card situation, that's going to be huge for the people of the country. That they're going to be able to walk in these physical locations and take these debit cards and load them up. And load up the APLs and then spend wherever they want to. Online, in places that they go to. Huge. And the excitement of having APL, that's the ticket. Its future, its value, in my opinion, can only go up. And when it goes up, and up, and up, because of more volume coming in, volume drives pricing. You can go and listen to your charts, do the chart stuff of all the resistance levels and all that crap. You know what it comes down to? People buying the coin. When they buy the coin, it goes up. When people don't buy for a while, the volume goes down. But when they buy the coin and it goes up, that's what's going to go with Apollo. More and more people in Africa are going to be buying this and loading up their debit cards. Right. And one of my subs and members of my Telegram group, Kat, pointed out that a ton of money. The populations in all these countries that Apollo's dealing with, Lesotho is smaller, but they're dealing with, there's a list coming at you of new countries coming. So the amount of people in these populations locking and loading, yeah, volume's going to go up. So ladies and gentlemen, Apollo is about to take care of business in the world. And guess what? Tick-tock Ethereum, tick-tock the rest of the coins. You know why? Apollo's coming up the charts.